Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, a place where people come to learn and my friends laugh at my face.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, so this week I was reading the book The 4-Hour Workweek. Well, I'm having a lot of good time reading this book because basically this genius just invented a formula for how can we reduce the work hours and increase the time that we can do, like spend doing whatever we want to do. So basically become the ones that your parents warned you about when you were a kid.
How I feel about school, Jerry. I mean, it's not a place for smart people, Jerry.
Well, yeah. So, if you want to become this new status, you are going to become a new rich. So, there are 4 steps that you have to follow if you want to become like this. So, I'm going to make a video about each one of them. In this first video, I'm going to talk about the first step. So, this one is... Yeah, that is a weird name for a first step. But anyway, so definition. What is a new rich? A new rich is someone who works like 4 hours a week and makes $40,000 a month. And he can live anywhere he wants, he can do whatever he wants, and he can like choose his own schedule. So there are 10 rules that the new rich follow, like the 10 amendments for them. So the first one is like retirement is like the worst case scenario insurance. So like if you are working and waiting for retirement, you're basically we are just assuming that you don't like what you do and you're just spending like the best physical years of your life doing something that you really hate to do. So for the new rich, retirement is like the worst case scenario. It's like if everything else fails, well, then I'll have retirement. It's like the plan Z. So rule number 2 is energy and interest are cyclical. So basically what this one tells us is that you have to find the perfect balance between hard working and partying hard. So basically you want to be somewhere in the middle between Lindsay Lohan and your math teacher. Well, no, not quite that. Okay, this one will bring us to principle number 3. And this one, well, I love this one, it's not laziness. So I don't give a shit about 100 pages that you make while you were studying for your exam. Well, only 20% of that is going to be useful information. So basically, you just spend 10 hours doing something that you could have done in 2. And remember when you said no to a party because you had to study for the test? Well, basically, you could have spent 8 hours in a party. So now you were just like kind of becoming... Yeah, now it suits you. So remember, focus on the things that are truly important for your goal. Don't spend like more time than you have to into a specific thing. But I will get to that later. Right now, we're going to the principle number 4. And this one is, timing is never right. So, there is never a perfect time for you to enter, for you to start doing the things that you want to. So you are never going to be prepared enough, you're never going to be ready enough, or you will never be expert enough. The best thing you can do is like jump into the race, start running, and then you fix things along the way. Moving on to rule number 5. This one is ask for forgiveness, not permission. I love this one. So if the things that you are working on doesn't really harm you or anyone around you, it's better to ask for forgiveness and for permission. So follow your gut. If something is like something inside you scratching for you to do it, like just do it. If it doesn't work out well, you can always say I'm sorry. Now, principle number 6. This one is emphasize strengths, don't fix your weaknesses. Well, imagine if Einstein would work on his magnificent writing skills. We would have a medium-class poem about energy instead of the suburb formula. Or if Elon Musk, well, basically there is nothing this guy cannot do. So what I'm trying to say here is that focus on the thing that you are really good at, the things that you really like, and work on them. And then stand out from them. Rule number 7 is things in excess become their opposite. So I just talked a little bit about this in the third rule. This one is don't spend more hours than you absolutely have to on doing something. Like don't overwork things. Don't like start hating something that you love because you are working too much on that. Well, remember, perfection leads to PhDs, not happiness. Rule number 8, money alone is not the solution. Well, money is like the best procrastination excuse you can possibly have. Like, oh, if only I had more money. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there are 1,000 ways that you can achieve your goal, and like money, there are some of them that you can do without money. So the first thing is, so for you to take the first step, all you need to have are two things: motivation and taking action. There is no money in there. So principle number 9, relative income is more important than absolute income. Well, this one is really important. So I'm gonna give you two examples. I'm gonna give you one example of two persons. So there is Joe and there is John. Joe is a new rich. He works 4 hours a week and he makes $40,000 a month. And he can live anywhere he wants, he can do whatever he wants, and he has his own schedule. But now John, he works 80 hours a week and he makes $500,000. So at a first glance, John is like 10 times more richer than Joe, so because he makes 10 times more money. But if you take a look into the relation income versus time working, you see that John makes 10 times more money, but he works 20 times more. So in income per money, the relation, Joe is like more richer, it's like 2 times more richer than John. And the thing is, John has to live close to his office because he works in a big firm. So he has to live in a city. While Joe, he can live anywhere he wants. He can choose to live in a place where things are cheaper. So his quality of life is also improving. So basically, Joe is much more wealthy and healthy than John. Remember, relative income is more important than absolute income. The money you make per hour of working. So let's finish with rule number 10, which is this stress is bad, this stress is good. So there are two types of stress that you have in your life: a bad one and a good one. You want to take away the bad one and embrace the good one, logically. So the bad one is like everything that it's dragging you down, everything that it's keeping you away from achieving your goals. While the good one is the thing that motivates you, the thing that excites you and makes you keep pushing forward. So you want to cut away all the bad stress, whether it's some family, some friends, whatever. Just cut that crap and focus on the things that keep you pushing forward. Well, these are the 10 rules that the new rich follow and embrace them, like the 10 amendments. But, well, let's be honest. Not all people, not everyone is working on ways to achieve their goals. And the reason this is happening, it's because of one feeling. Yeah, there is one thing that comes to my mind when I think about this word. You. Well, let's leave it aside. Well, thing is, fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. It is true. And this is because people rather live in an environment of unhappiness than in uncertainty. Well, luckily for you, I got 6 steps that I'm going to give you that you can face it and overcome this fear. So gather on, little soldiers. Here we go. Step number 1. Think about the worst case scenario that could possibly happen if you decided to follow your goals. Write them down. And now, step number 2 is find solutions for these things. What could you do if the worst thing actually happened? Now you have the worst things and you have the solutions. Step number 3 is I want you to think about the odds of the worst case scenario actually happen. Well, the thing is, you might not be as smart as you think you are, but you're certainly not as dumb as your fear makes you feel like. So the odds of the worst case scenario actually happen, they are pretty low. On the contrary, on the other side, the odds of you actually pulling this thing out, they might be pretty good. So believe in yourself, feel motivated. Now the step number 4, this one is like an introspection. I'm going to ask you, what would you do if you lose your job tomorrow? Well, how long would it take you for you to get back to the same professional level that you were? Well, if your answer is 1 month, then what's the pressure? If things don't work out, in 1 month, you can get back in the same place that you were. Number 5, this is also a question. I want you to think about the thing that you fear the most. No, god damn it. It's not that. Stop it. Jesus. Well, do you have an answer for this one? Well, if you do, that is probably the most likely the thing that you need to do the most if you want to achieve your goal. That's probably the most important step in your path. Finally, step number 6. I want you to think about what is it costing you financially, emotionally, and physically not being working right now on your goals. I want you to think about all of this and see you again next video.